Of the class of 2025 and remain standing for our pledge on our coat and school alma mater.
join us in celebrating the United States of America by reciting our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
and now stay standing for the honor code. We, as members of the Pine School,
Thank you. Now please join us in singing the school's alma mater. The words can be found on the back of your program. Thank you. Please be seated. If I could remind all of you to silence your cell phones in anticipation of our ceremony today, I would appreciate it. I'd now like to invite Beth Lettengarver to offer our invitation. Pine School families and friends, we gather on this special day, recognizing our diversity in beliefs, values, and faith traditions, yet honoring our unity in gratitude. In a world where many do not have the opportunities we enjoy, we are thankful for the achievements and honors we celebrate today. In a world where many have a difficult future, we are thankful for the dreams, hopes, and plans that have been nourished within our community. In a world where many have no community, we are thankful for the support of our mentors, teachers, family, and friends. As we go on from this ceremony on different paths, to different experiences and different destinies, may our gratitude unite us always in the desire to use all that we are and all that we have for the common good, so that reasons to be thankful will fill our lives each day. Honoring our unity and gratitude, I invite you to reflect on all that is yet to be, while expressing thanks for the gift of intellect, accomplishments, the support of family and friends, and a community that encourages and celebrates education. May our gratitude on this commencement day grow into peace for one another and freedom to live, work, and serve throughout all our days. Amen.
Parents, grandparents, siblings, and friends. It's a great honor to have you here at the Pine School to celebrate the class of 2025 as they receive their diplomas today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, many of whom are here today, we welcome you to our commencement ceremony to celebrate these great young leaders. We are so proud of our graduates as they've upheld the values and standards important to this community and the Pine School, a tradition that began 56 years ago and a culture that will lead us into the future. Graduates, we honor you today, many of you who have been here since kindergarten. We honor you for your academic achievement and everything that you've done and everything that you will become. As we wish you Godspeed on your journey ahead.
Thank you, Mr. McNicholas, and good morning to all. Please allow me to echo Mr. McNicholas's gracious welcome to those gathered here to witness this auspicious occasion. And of course, a very special welcome to the seniors, the 40 members of the Pine Schools class of 2025. Let's give them a round of applause. We have been anticipating this day for quite a while, and now it has finally arrived. I speak for everyone here when I say how proud and elated we are to celebrate with you at the Pine School's 17th commencement. It is my sincere honor to be here this morning to convey diplomas to these students. This is undisputedly my favorite day of our school year. I even like it more than field day, if you can believe that. Last night, we gathered for a heartfelt baccalaureate service to begin the process of closing this chapter at the Pine School and sending our graduates on to their next adventure. Thank you to Lucas De Silva, Genevieve Waters, and Dr. Peter Lehman for the wise and amusing speeches that you all offered. Also, thank you to Shelby Carlstrom, Lily Christel, and Alice Villalba, as well as Miss Dorothy Castle for the lovely music they offered. For our commencement ceremony today, we have invited a very special guest to address the class of 2025. Mr. Mark Rogers is a longtime Stewart resident and a proud past parent of the Pine School. I'd now like to welcome to the podium his son, Mr. Brian Rogers, class of 2020, to introduce his father. Brian.
Thank you, Mrs. Catherine. Wow, so this is what a Pine School graduation looks like. I was in the infamous class of 2020, and they kind of just handed us the diploma and said, get out of here. So this is kind of awesome. Congrats to all of you, the graduates of the Pine School class of 2025. Welcome to the Alumni Club. It's an honor for me to be here to help you celebrate this day and introduce you to my hero, your commencement speaker, the man I am proud to call Dad. So who is this Mark Rogers guy, and what makes him worthy enough to speak to you today? Well, if you started with Google, this is what it would tell you. Mark Rogers graduated from law school in 1987, but not before he worked as a Publix bag boy, a newspaper reporter, a television producer, a high school English teacher, and a high school football and baseball coach. After graduating from law school, Dad worked at a large law firm as a trial lawyer for 7 years. He then transitioned to the business world, working at an investment banking firm. And when that got boring, in 1997, he opened his own firm, a law firm specializing in the representation of professional athletes. By most accounts, my dad is considered one of the most successful and respected agents in the sports industry. Others will tell you he is a nightmare to negotiate. Probably a sign he's pretty good at his job. I would know I have been negotiating with him for 23 years. It's an absolute battle, trust me. Dad has negotiated 3 of the largest contracts in the history of professional sports. His clients include All-Stars, World Series and Super Bowl champions, and Cy Young Award winners. He has negotiated over $2 billion of contracts for his clients. Now, what you won't read on Google. Mark Rogers is a great dad. He and my mother have raised 5 children and made sure we got all a great education. My brothers attended Elon, Indiana, and Notre Dame, and my sister, also a Pine School graduate, attended New York University and later graduate school. And I graduated from the University of Virginia 1 year ago. My dad has done much more than represent athletes. He has coached almost all of our teams, including my basketball team during my senior year at the Pine School. 4 years ago, he coached the baseball team to the Little League World Series. In all, my dad has coached for 35 years. Outside of coaching, Dad serves our community in many ways, with most of the causes improving the lives of the youth in our community. I'm not sure where I would be without him, and it is with great pride that I introduce him today. Ladies and gentlemen, my dad, Mark Rogers.
Very much, supposed to make the commencement speaker cry before he speaks. So you guys cry. Wow, unbelievable. First of all, Ms. Cap, board, members of the board of trustees, faculty, esteemed faculty, many of which are my friends, parents, family, friends, and you 40 of my new best friends. We had quite a gathering about a month ago. One of the best hours I've spent in a long time. I had a chance, was invited to come meet with the class, and we had a really, really amazing conversation. And I'll be honest with all of you, at that point I had absolutely no idea what I was going to talk about today. I was going to let them tell me what they wanted to hear about, and I was going to let them write my script. Now I promised them a couple of things. I wasn't going to have a script. I'm not going to read you a speech today. And I promised them there's I'm a Catholic, and so when Pope Francis was alive, he admonished Catholic priests to try to keep homilies to about 10 minutes, because he told them after 10 minutes you pretty much lose the congregation and maybe the offering. So anyway, so I'm going to do the best I can. I do have a watch. I can't promise you. I almost asked Tony, the basketball coach, to set the clock for me at 10 minutes, but I didn't want to put that kind of pressure on me. But I am going to keep an eye on the watch, I promise you. When I met with them, I asked them 3 questions, and I gave them index cards. And the first question I asked the class was, give me one word that describes you, because I wanted to know who they thought they were. Because again, you really, I'm addressing you today. I think it's wonderful you have so many friends and family and faculty here, but really I'm addressing you all. Some of the words that you wrote down were really, for me, eye-opening and encouraging. Some of the words that you wrote: adaptable, charismatic, compassionate, thoughtful, loving, genuine, optimistic, spontaneous, ambitious, curious, enthusiastic. All wonderful words. There were others. There were 40 cards I got afterwards. There were 3 interesting cards for me that also, words that I saw. One was lost, L-O-S-T. The other was tired. We're all tired at some point. And one that I really liked was stubborn. I liked all of those, right? Because they are, again, they pretty much, from their perspective, that's what described them. So what I thought I would do today is I have 5 words of my own that I'm going to use. And I'm going to talk about each one for a minute or 2, and then we'll be done. But the 5 words are not, I'm not going to give advice. They gave you advice, and they gave you great advice, and you've been hearing advice from your moms and dads and your friends forever. I don't need to give you advice. If you needed advice, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I thought maybe I would just give you some thoughts to ponder as you fly out these doors today and run to the rest of your life. And so that's what this is going to be about, I hope. You know, it's interesting. When I met you, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it would be pretty stellar because that's what the Pine School does. All 40 of you were going to college. And we're not, I mean, some amazing schools, and I was very impressed by that. But the words that came to mind that day, I mean, just meeting you, the intentionality, the sincerity, the vulnerability. I asked a question, moving forward in your life, what is the one thing you fear? Now, these are kids with their peers sitting, and there's peer pressure and all that. They're sitting in a room with a stranger, a couple of faculty members, and their fellow students. And one student said to me, I fear being alone. Going away to school, going far away, going away from her parents. I'm afraid to be alone. That's showing vulnerability. Another young man said, I fear that I will not be able to provide for my family someday. And then another young man said, I fear that I won't be able to live up to my potential. Vulnerability, I just thought that was wonderful. They don't have all the answers, and they still have fears, and I thought that was tremendous. So as I put my list together today, of my thoughts, the words that I would use, I thought about 2 things. One is what I learned from you. The other one was, I represent professional athletes for a living, and a lot of them I meet when they're in high school. I meet when they're sophomores, when they're juniors, sometimes seniors. Some of them are in college, but usually I meet them when they're in high school. And as I walked out that day, I thought, you guys remind me a lot of the players I represent. And they're high achieving, they're intentional, they're focused, they know what they want. So kind of today's words are going to kind of center on that. And so the first word I have is time. Time is easy and we take it for granted, right? But I tell you what time is. Time is the greatest equalizer of all time. We all have the same amount of time. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you were born, how much money you have, who your parents are, what your grades were. You still have the same amount of time as everybody else. Interesting thing about time, right? You can't sell it. You can't really give it away. You can waste it, of course. You hear things like, boy, that was a waste of time. Aren't those sad words? That was a waste of time. Don't let your time be a waste, right? You also think that was a great investment of time. The key is to find things, right, that are great investment of time and put your time and effort into it. There is a great passage in the Bible, in Ecclesiastes, on a time for everything. And I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it yourself. It's chapter 3 in Ecclesiastes. But the good news is, in Ecclesiastes, there's a time for everything that's important. And that's the key, right? I'm going to end each one of my words with a quote, and this one might sum it to think about time. What separates us is not the amount of time we have, but how we use that time. The second word, aspire. I love the word aspire. Aspirations. You all have them. What's the difference between an aspiration and a goal? Or a dream and a fantasy, right? Fantasy's way, way out there. It's Disney World, right? Dreams, we love to have them, but they're probably not necessarily realistic. Goals are wonderful. Goals are wonderful. The problem I have with goals, when you get there, do you stop? Some people get to that goal and say, that's it, I've done it. Aspirations are different. Aspirations never stop. It's a continuing line through those goals all the way. And when I say aspirations, I'm not talking about something that's impossible. I'm talking about something that's in the farthest reach, your reach. Realistic, but furthest reach. Aspirations. I hope you all live your life aspiring to do great things. I will tell you this, you're all capable of doing great things. I'm going to give you 3 examples of aspiring. 2 of them are in this room, 1 is not. One is the lady sitting behind me here, who's your principal, okay? I met her when she first got this job. It was a challenging job. They were transitioning from the Stewart campus, really ramping it up. The facilities needed some work. There was a lot of work to be done here and a lot of improvements that needed to be made. And she aspired to make this a world-class school. And it's happening. I will tell you, she will tell you, the goal is not met yet. These aren't goals. This is just an ongoing process for her. But I come on this campus, and I meet you guys, and I see that faculty, and I see what's going on here, and I hear the dreams and goals that Tom and his group have for this school. And this school is aspiring, and it starts with her. Second group, aspire. The little guy who's just up here, he's not so little anymore, but my youngest son of 5, very proud of him, but graduated from Virginia a year ago, and he wanted to do things different. He aspired not to have a 9-to-5 classic job. A lot of the kids at Virginia were going to out of school. And he wanted to do something different. Long story short, less than a year ago, he and his oldest brother, my oldest son, started a business. It's on TikTok Shop. Today, it's the largest collectible shop in all the world on TikTok. It's doing very, very well. They have 15 employees. They run it out of a small office in Jensen Beach. But he aspires to do great things. There's no goal. I mean, we were talking about it on the way down here today. There really are no goals. But this past week, TikTok came in and asked them to open an office in London. They also have an office already in Fort Myers, so they're expanding, and it's all happening. He was here 5 years. Well, he wasn't here because they didn't have a graduation, but he was getting his diploma 5 years ago. Now he runs the #1 TikTok shop in the world for collectibles, which is really amazing to me. He aspires, and he will tell you he's not met any of his other goals. The other one, and it's a really good story, because sometimes when you aspire, you have to pivot, right? Aspiring is important, and sometimes you have to pivot because your aspirations may not be within your reach anymore. Great example, and you might know this young man. I represent a young man named Jack Caglione. Jack Caglione is a professional baseball player now, but a year ago he was at the University of Florida. I met Jack Caglione when he was a junior in high school. Big kid, really, really nice player, wonderful family from Tampa. Jack was a pitcher, and Jack was so big, everybody predicted he would be throwing 100 miles an hour someday, and he was phenomenal. And he had a tremendous career. He was probably going to be a first-round pick out of high school, sign as a pitcher, and move on to the pro ball. State high school all-star game. The last time he ever pitched in high school, I'm at the game. He's sitting with his mom and dad. He throws a pitch, and he goes like this. And I'm like, uh-oh. Trainer comes out, they take him out of the game. He blew out his elbow. He blew out his elbow right then and there. He needed Tommy John surgery, and he wasn't going to get, nobody's going to draft a player who just had Tommy John surgery. So he needs Tommy John surgery. He had a scholarship to the University of Florida. Coach O'Sullivan obviously honored it. And so he goes to the University of Florida, and he can't pitch his freshman year. He can't do much of anything. Well, one day he asked Sullivan, Coach Sullivan, if he could hit, to start hitting a little bit. So he started hitting in the cage, started hitting live BP, and all of a sudden, hey, you know what? You're pretty good at that. Maybe we could use you as a DH. We could use you as a first baseman. What do you think? So they called me, say, hey, can we have permission to let him play? I said, of course you can have permission to have him play. Even though he had Tommy John and he can't throw a baseball, he can swing a bat. So he started swinging the bat, and he was really, really good toward the end. He really didn't play till about the last third of his freshman year. And he was really, really good. And the legend grew from there. In his sophomore year, playing full-time, he hit over 30 home runs. His sophomore year, junior year, he hit over 30 home runs. Today, when we graduated, or didn't graduate, when he left the school, he was already the career all-time home run hitter. He was the first player in the history of the school in the NCAA to hit 30 home runs in 2 consecutive years. And he was drafted by the Kansas City Royals with the 5th pick in last year's draft, and he got a $7.2 million signing bonus. And you know what he is? He's not a pitcher anymore. He's a hitter. Right? He had to pivot. He was going to be a major league pitcher, probably. He aspired to be a major leaguer. God had a different plan for him. He blows his elbow out. He gets the surgery. I'm never going to be the pitcher I wanted to be, but I want to be a major league player. He made himself a great hitter. So just real quickly, run through the story. He started out in rookie ball, single A. This year he started out double A. He was in double A for 6 weeks. He's already in triple A. In 2 of his first 3 games in triple A, he's already hit a home run. He'll be in the big leagues before the year's over. He's 22 years old. Great story. Aspiring to be a big leaguer, understanding that at some point you have to pivot. Not change your aspirations. He wanted to be a big leaguer. He just had to pivot on how he was going to get there. Great story. Great influencer for me, and a great story to tell. My quote on aspirations: it is better to attempt something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed. My next word, prepare. Huge word. We take it for granted. Prepare. You know who's prepared every day? They are. They are. They walk into the classroom. You demand it. They give it to you because they don't owe it to you, but that's the pledge, that's the responsibility they take it. Right? They don't shortchange you. They respect you as students by being prepared. The coach, you come to practice and your coach is prepared with a practice plan, you know it. He's intentional. Preparation. You're going to go to a job interview. Probably some of you, maybe the first summer, second summer, you're going to be in interviewing for internships. You're going to go to job interviews. Find out who you're interviewing with and get to know something about them. Nothing better. And anybody in here who has a business, who's ever hired somebody, loves it when you walk in and you know something about them because they now know you're engaged, and it makes them feel good that you took the time. And you don't prepare for a job interview in the Uber on the way to the interview. You prepare for it a couple days before, the night before. It shows respect. I'm prepared for this. You know what else? A great story. And you have to prepare sometimes for failure. It happens sometimes. We talked about Jack Caglione. He probably wasn't quite prepared for that. There's a great story that I heard. I heard Nick Saban talk one time. If you know who Nick Saban is, he's won 7 national championships as a head college coach. He's no longer coaching. He's coaching about 380 games. He won I forget, 200 and, probably 280 of them. Won more games than almost anybody who's ever coached in college football. And Nick Saban, the night before every game, he took 2 index cards out. If we win, if we lose. And he wanted to write down what he was going to say to his team if they won and if they lost. Because what he said is, in the emotion of the game, I'm going to forget some of those things. And it's a close game, we lose close, we win on the last play. In the emotion of the game, I may forget, these are the important things that I have to remind our players of. And he would take those 2 and he'd put 1 in each pocket. And of course, at the end of every game, he pulled out the win or the loss, and that's what he had. Preparation. There's a reason he won 7 national championships. Just an example of how prepared the man was. My quote on preparation. Success is not what you have. It is not what you do. It is who you are. Be a person who prepares. My fourth word, kindness. Probably my most important word today. We can change the world with kindness. Trust me, you can change the world with a random act of kindness, an intentional act of kindness. It's doable. I think it's something that sometimes we underrate. St. Francis of Assisi, in the prayer of peace, one of the lines he has in there is, it's in giving that we receive. And if you've ever given, and I know most everybody in here has in some way or another, you know that there's two winners in that transaction. There's never a loser. One winner is the person you give something to. The other winner is you. The two of you are both winners. It's a wonderful feeling. And great examples in history of kindness. The parable of the Good Samaritan, who took care of a man who'd been beaten up and left on the side of a road. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who took care of the poorest of the poor of the poor. Amazing act of kindness. One of the greatest acts of kindness ever, when Pope John Paul was the Pope, a man tried to assassinate him, actually shot him in the center, went to the hospital, almost killed him. And after it was all over and he was healed, the first thing he did, he went and met with the man who tried to kill him in jail. And he sat down with him in the jail cell and took his hand and he forgave him. What an amazing act of kindness. He didn't have to do that even as the Pope, even though probably the expectations were maybe that he would. Today, in just a few minutes, you all are going to, if you've not been here, I don't want to blow it for you, but you're going to witness an amazing act of kindness that's going to happen here. They have a rose ceremony here. And every graduate is going to give a rose, maybe two, to the person in their life. And it's not maybe the person, but it's the person in their life who they feel that they want to honor on this day, this important day of their life. And they're going to hand that rose to that person. And that act of kindness, what it's going to make, I told them when I met with them, because I've gone through two of these, and Brian gave his to his sister, and my daughter Katie gave hers to her mother. And I know how it made them feel to get it, and I know how it made Brian and Katie feel. I can't look at them, I'm going to cry. I'm serious. Anyway, they know, just the satisfaction. And as the person who didn't get the rose, I also felt the kindness, because it was so important for me that my children, one of them honored her mother and the other honored his sister. And that tells us we're doing a pretty good job here. So you're going to see that and watch it. I have to warn you, if you don't have Kleenex, you might want to pull one out during that one, because that's for those of us who have sat through it, we know that can be tough. It's interesting, I read, in looking at different things on generosity, it's funny, generosity is one of the few things in this world that still has the power to intrigue people. Kind of interesting if you really think about it, right? Kindness, especially when it's random, can really just stop somebody in their tracks and think, wow, that was pretty neat. So I have an act of kindness for you today. And it's kind of weird, but it's me. And so I'm going to do it anyway. So don't look now. It's there, I promise you. Underneath your chairs, there's a card. And it's my kind of my gift to you. In that card, you'll see there's a couple of things in there. But when I met with you guys, remember the last question I asked you? You're walking down the street and you look down and there's a $100 bill in the street, and you pick it up. What are you going to do with it? And you all wrote what you're going to do with it. I promise you, I'll let you see the cards if you don't believe me. Not one graduate was going to spend it on themselves. I expected somebody to say, "Oh, I'm going to get a Hulu a subscription, or I'm going to go to the mall, or I'm going to take all my friends to Chipotle, or I'm going to do." Not one of them was going to keep it for themselves and spend it on themselves. The answers were amazing. I was so impressed with that. And so what I decided to do, so in that card, yes, there's a $100 bill for each of you. Now, wait, it's not yours. It's not yours. It's yours for now. But what I want you to do is I want you to hold on to it. And at some point in your life, it'll maybe tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 10 years from now, you're going to run into somebody, something, some cause, some family who needs that money more than you do. And your act of kindness will be to give them that $100 bill. And when you do it, how you will feel, trust me, will be way better than anything that they can feel. And I'll tell you right now, for me, my graduation gift to you is not the $100. It's that feeling that you're going to have when you hand it to them, and it's the goodness that you're going to create. And you know what's going to happen? That person you gave it to, at some point when they have the ability to do the same thing, they're going to do it. And we're going to spread this kindness around. I promise you the card's there. Don't grab it now. If you get it, unless Miss Lettendorfer and Mr. Carlson ran off with them yesterday, they're there. I was so happy to see them today. I was so happy to see them today because they could have been long gone. Anyway, my quote on kindness. If you wish to discover who you are, explore the horizons of your generosity. And my last word. Pope Francis, who I've talked about already a little bit, when he talked a lot about hope. And he had a great quote. The future does have a name, and its name is hope. I know. When I met you guys, I left this building, and I don't think I've ever felt so much hope ever. And I'm not saying that because I'm standing up in front of your parents and trying to make them feel good. I'm telling you, each one of you individually, I have never felt so good about the hope of our future. I thought to myself, if this is the next generation, we're going to be okay. If this is what our future looks like, it's going to be okay. Probably better than okay. I implore all of you, when you walk out that door, and clearly when you walk out that door today, you're walking into your future. You know, you're taking the hopes and dreams and aspirations of everybody in this room with you. I'm not putting any pressure on you because you know what? You've already lived with the pressure. It's why you're here. It's why you're going to great schools. But take that hope with you because really you're all capable of amazing things. And I know it in my heart. I've been around so many young people, coached so many young people, represented so many young people. And as a group, most impressive I've ever been with. I'm still on cloud 9 thinking about it. So I wish you all the very, very best. I'm proud of you. I wish you nothing but success. And I hope your future is filled with lots of aspirations, plenty of time to follow them, and plenty of preparation to make sure that you maximize them. And then don't forget to be kind. Class of 2025, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rogers, for those wonderful words and that amazing reflection to share with these graduates today. Next, we will hear from two members of the senior class who have been chosen by their classmates to offer their reflections. Our first student speaker today is Jacob Ross. Jacob has served this year as the Vice President for Student Government. He's a key member of our varsity tennis team, has championed the growth and improvement of the Pine Schools Model United Nations team. However, the thing that perhaps most endears Jacob to me is that he's really funny. Please welcome Jacob Ross.
Morning, folks. How we doing? Three years ago today, my brother stood on this stage and announced that he was so nervous he was going to throw up. But I'm pretty sure he just said food poisoning. When I was chosen to speak, I couldn't feel more different. Not only did I make responsible dietary choices last night, but when selected, I knew my entire high school career has led up to this. The countless years of essays and presentation techniques ready to be shown up. And so, with the academic maturity and worldliness the Pine School has given me, I confidently sat down, opened ChatGPT, and typed how to write a good graduation speech. My good friend Chatty G told me to be inspiring, authentic, and gracious. So, to begin, what we've been duly hearing for the past 24 hours, gratitude. Ms. Caffrey, Atkins, and the board, thank you so much for making everything possible. I can't begin to imagine what happens behind the scenes. Thank you so much to the faculty and staff for the most unique high school experience that any of us could ask for. And to my friends, an amalgamation of more teachers than I'm willing to admit, and of course, everyone in the class of 2025. It's good branding now. We were just starting to get sick of each other. Anyways, that's the end of the pleasantries. Let's keep moving. Next up on the ChatGPT to-do list, be inspirational. In a few months, it'll be 8 years since I stepped on campus for my first ever day of school at Pine. Frankly, I was nervous. Still not enough to throw up, but pretty nervous. I embodied the typical new kid trope. I had just moved, had no friends, hated Florida, was terminally homesick, etc. Anyway, we got to school a little early that day so I could be introduced to my personal ambassador and now forever friend, Connor Hampton. For the sake of immersion, I'll paint a picture. The transition from New Jersey train towns to South Florida living could not be more stark. The frequency of palm trees still freaked me out, the grass was never greener, and give or take 1.5 feet of height, Connor somehow looked exactly the same as he does now. Due to the wind messing up my first day hair, I don't recall much of the interaction, but I do remember a minute quote. Noticing I was upset, Connor offered me comfort by saying, "Well, I hope your day gets better." And although it took me a few months and too many Ms. K visits to get better, I finally did. And I did so in the most unexpected way. One day, I woke up, ate my breakfast, brushed my teeth, waited in Bridge Road traffic, laughed with friends, made crushes. By the end of the week, I realized I hadn't thought about it. Somehow, without noticing, the armpit of America was no longer home. I no longer ruminated about pizza and bagels, horrible sports teams, or more importantly, what my life could have been as a soprano. Whether I had realized it or not, Pine had indirectly taught me the most important lesson of them all. There will always be change, there will always be things that you miss, things that you regret, things that you yearn for, but the hard truth is that there's nothing you can do but look forward to your future and embrace it. As we can tell from our caps and gowns, time never stops. It's paramount that you wake up every day and at least pretend to be in a good mood, to romanticize the possibility of a better future and move along. I say that with the most confidence because I know for a fact not a single person in this class has peaked in high school, and that there is a better future for everyone. But if you do feel lost in the immensity that is the college experience, I implore you to take a step back and practice any means of personal discovery. Sports photography, interpretive dancing, acting, drawing dragons, poetry, reportage, fiction, pickup basketball, no matter how well or badly, not for money or fame, but to find out what's inside you, to find what makes your soul grow. For me, it's always been stand-up comedy. And with that being said, I could not imagine a better time to come out and admit that every single one of you is a victim to the process of making my set. And so, with the time I have left, and the last box on my ChatGPT checklist, I'll be authentic and give a snippet of my routine. We can all agree it's nice to do a good deed every once in a while, right? So, there I was. I was alone with a grandma in her apartment. I tutored technology, don't be nasty. You could say I was fixing her printer. No, but it's true. I started a tech help volunteer group. It's great, honestly. No need for the applause, thank you though. Truly, the real miracle is I somehow fit that in my schedule. You know, balancing being smart, handsome, and modest takes a lot. Right. But I'm gonna stop myself there. I don't want to give away all my material, but I'm here all summer. I'm working the Treasure Coast Circuit, sound brewing, schooners, Ralph's stand-up on Central, 9 p.m. every Friday. You'll find me there. But please go and fake laugh. It's really hard to gain traction these days. Speaking of fake laughing, most students have at least one class with every teacher here. Unfortunately for me, I never had a class with this specific teacher, but I'm glad I had this interaction at a minimum. A year ago today, I stood in the breezeway with Miss Houseman, overlooking the class of 24 in their caps and gowns. I told her, senior year would be the longest year of my life. Wisely, she protested. Standing up here now, I failed to reject the null. I couldn't be more wrong. So before I finish, I think we're due for a recap of this short year. In what seemed like a month, an 84-foot hot dog mural was painted, juniors became princesses, robots started controlling cars, sweaters brandishing wiener dominated the halls, polos became sweatshirts, poker became the pastime, our lounge began harboring pigs, green dots appeared, students vanished, and our parking became worse than ever. Despite how quickly the year went, I began to notice things I never had before. Even more indirect lessons Pine loves to keep reminding me of. How to style shoelaces with your outfit. The statement of daily cowboy boots. How to swing a meter stick, golf club. How to win an arm wrestle. How to hacky sack. The impact of a morning Coca-Cola pick-me-up, or a calming candle, or a motherly presence. And at last but not least, an inspiring devotion to a specific Kevin Claus singer. Faculty, if you think I'm talking about you, I am. Anyway, I see the red light in the back, my set is up, I'll leave you with these final words. Smile at strangers, save a bug from the pool, be chalant. Try a new food and hug your parents tight. In the words of my great-grandpa Mo, make sure when you go to bed, you can confidently say, today was a day worth living. Thank you.
Jacob on his comedy tour this summer. That's all to look forward to. All right. So our next speaker is going to be Isabella Adler. Isabella is wearing a white cord today at graduation to acknowledge her longevity at the Pine School, as she is a proud lifer. A student who has been at Pine since early learning or kindergarten. Isabella is a long-serving president of her class. She is a formidable volleyball player of keen intellect who has done so much through the years to be a good friend and bring her class together. Isabella.
Thank you, Ms. Caffrey. Boy, that's a tough act to follow. I'm going to try my best. Hi everyone, to a select few, I'm Izzy. To my sisters, I'm Bella. But to you all here today, I'm Isabella, and we went to high school together. The phrase, we went to high school together, means a lot, especially here at the Pine School. It means we grew up together, we learned together, and we said goodbye together. We grew up together. I was just 3 years old when I started at Pine. We shared snacks and scraped knees on that infamous old playground that at the time felt like the best place on earth. Then, through elementary and middle school, the lessons became more than just spelling tests and math minutes. Through friendly competition, from the GOB to Evening of the Arts auditions, to unfortunate but few blue losses on field day, I learned to appreciate my classmates' triumphs as my own. We never truly saw each other as just classmates, but instead as a family, our own little community. As we entered high school, our family grew, and with that came lessons. Lessons like how to study for Doc Bog's bio tests, or who to ask to the Sadie's dance. But we learned together. We learned the importance of hard work and determination, to fight for that A, to push through challenges, to aim higher. But none of that would have been possible without each other. Looking out at my classmates today, I think of everything you taught me. I've learned from Jude the power of passion through his photography, from Jacob how to break tension with a perfectly timed joke, from Shelby how to push through even the most impossible math problems, and from Alice that being a good friend is simply listening. I could go down the list for each of you because all of you have made me who I am today. And beyond what we learned from each other, we were also shaped by the people guiding us along the way. Thanks to our teachers who frankly deserve a standing ovation. Thank you for giving it your all, for laboring through lessons with patience and grace, for pushing us to be better even when we didn't want to be. And maybe most importantly, for building real, lasting relationships. And over this past month, we said goodbye together. Driving down that hill into school that last day, wearing the uniform for the very last time, decorated with the logo of my dream university, it hit me all at once. This is it. This is the accumulation of all those long nights studying, the treacherous OCE bus rides, and the nail-biting volleyball games. This is the last moment I will be a Pine student. Quite literally all I have ever known. Maybe 10 years from now, a student will pick up a yearbook and flip through the pages, laughing with their classmates as they see how much the school has changed. They'll see the name Isabella Adler, the first of the 40 seniors of the class of 2025, and maybe not even look twice, and that's scary. No matter how grown up we might feel right now, we're about to step into a world that is completely unfamiliar, and that is scary. Langston Hughes once said, "A man without history is like a tree without roots. He cannot grow." And I think that's exactly what Pine gave us, roots. This school gave us the foundation, the values, the support, and the strength to achieve anything. But now it's up to us. Whether we're ready or not, we are going to grow beyond these walls. Now, we need to take what we've learned, act with purpose, and work for the futures that we dream of. Today marks a turning point in each and every one of our lives, where we step into adulthood and begin writing our own stories. This school has given me more than I can put into words, but the best, without a doubt, are the memories I've shared with all of you. Let's use this experience as a platform to achieve greatness, which, looking out at my classmates from Miami to New Hampshire to Colorado, I'm sure we will all achieve. So yes, we went to high school together, but forever, we are all Knights together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isabella, for that reflective look back at your time at the Pine School and for the gratitude that your comments clearly capture. And thank you to the entire class of 2025. It has been a tremendous honor and joy to watch you grow and learn at the Pine School. And now, at last, it is time to graduate. Mr. Carlson, have these students met their graduation requirements? And do they stand ready to receive their diplomas, officially graduating from the Pine School?
Ms. Caffrey, the seniors assembled here today have met the graduation requirements and are ready to receive their diplomas. I present the class of 2025 to you and Mr. McNicholas.
Families and guests assembled here today, we will now recognize these seniors as the newest graduates of the Pine School. I would like to invite Mr. McNicholas, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and Mr. Rogers to join me downstage as we award diplomas. It is a tradition here at the Pine School that families and friends of the graduate stand as their child is recognized.
Here. All right. Sorry Isabella Sophia Adler. Isabella will be attending University of Michigan.
Isabella Real for being the best friends and role models all rolled into one. She would like to thank the Pine faculty for making her successes possible and pushing her to be her best self. She would like to thank her friends for brightening even the hardest days, and Christina, with whom she could not imagine her life without. She would like to thank her whole family who traveled to be here today and support her accomplishments. Finally, her dad, who she strives to be even half as hardworking and dedicated, and her mom, as generous and caring. Isabella is endlessly grateful for the love, support, and memories that have shaped her into the person she is today. Go Blue!
Luke Everett Altschuler. Luke will be attending Clemson University.
Luke would like to thank all the family, friends, and teachers who have supported him along the way. Luke would especially like to thank his dad for all the college tours, football games, and most importantly, for being the imaginary co-GM of the Dolphins. Luke would also like to thank his mom for all the late-night essay reviews, DIY projects, and for somehow always finding him a non-chocolate dessert. Finally, Luke would like to thank his sister Diane. Thanks for the dumb jokes, car ride sing-alongs, and snails. She'll know what that means.
Joe Dos Passos Ramos Anesio Azevedo. Joe will be attending Emmanuel College.
Joe would like to thank his parents for always being there when he needed, helping him on whatever he wanted to do, and always pushing him to be a better person. He would also like to thank all of the teachers for the support, Coach Doc for all the help since the first day here, and Coach Camp for making his last year of high school soccer the best one possible. Joe would also like to thank James Haffey and Charlie Kilgore for being so chill.
Shelby Marie Karlstrom. Shelby will be attending the Catholic University of America.
This school for all the opportunities, support, and guidance. Next, she would like to thank all of her cousins, aunts, and uncles, and great aunts and uncles for all their continued love and support. She loves you all from the bottom of her heart. She would love to thank her grandma and grandpa for always showing up to everything and for all of their love and support as well. She finally wants to thank her parents for providing her with opportunities and support. You are her rocks, and she could not have done anything without you. She loves you all from the bottom of her heart and hopes that you know that her gratitude and love extend far beyond these words. Much love.
Michael Francis Seferi III. Michael will be attending the University of Miami.
Michael would like to thank his mom for always being there for him and always giving him a ride for wherever he needs to go, for waiting the extra 30 minutes if he needed to stay for extra help. He would also like to thank his dad for always making him think rationally, no matter the situation. Michael would also like to thank his grandparents for giving him the opportunity to go to such an amazing school. Michael thanks his teachers for pushing him academically and his coaches for pushing him physically. He appreciates all of his family and friends for accompanying him and all the funny shared memories. He also thanks his girlfriend for being his #1 best friend. Finally, Michael is grateful for everyone who has shaped him to be who he is today.
Lucas Alejandro Movila Castillo da Silva. Lucas will be attending Brown University.
Lucas would like to thank his family, his mom and dad, for always supporting him throughout the challenges of high school and the many things he wanted to do. To his brother, for being a leader and teacher throughout his entire life. If there was one role model that shaped Lucas into the person he is now, it would be him. To his grandparents in Colombia and Brazil, which through and through have supported his family and allowed him to have some of his favorite memories dancing and enjoying each country. Te amo. Lucas would also like to thank his teachers and coaches for all the guidance and opportunities to learn that they have provided, which have allowed him to get to the place where he is now. Finally, Lucas would like to thank his friends for always being there for him and joining the projects he started without thinking too much, and especially his best friend, Genevieve. Thank you.
Joe Pedro Nassar de Brito. JP will be attending Nova Southeastern University.
JP would like to thank everyone who has supported him throughout his journey. He's especially grateful to his coaches for guiding him, pushing him to grow, and teaching him lessons to go far beyond the field. JP is thankful to his teammates for becoming family far away from home, and for sharing their hard work, laughter, and unforgettable memories. He also appreciates his teachers and mentors for their encouragement, dedication, and guidance. He also wanted to thank his girlfriend Amelia for always supporting and pushing him to be a better person. Above all, JP would like to thank his family, especially his mom for being his biggest supporter and reliever through this incredible journey. From the words of encouragement during tough times and countless sacrifices, she has been there every step of the way. For accepting this challenge and leaving everything behind, friends, family, the dog, and the house. Her support has been the foundation of everything he's accomplished, and JP knows he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her love and support. JP is forever grateful to everyone who has helped shape the path and made all this possible.
Clover Ring DePhillips. Clover will be attending the University of Tennessee.
Clover would first like to thank everyone she's met at Pine over the past 6 years, her coaches, teachers, and classmates. She is especially grateful to her teachers for helping her get to where she is today and for sticking with her through her senioritis last semester. Thank you to KHG for always greeting her with a "Good morning, Clover," smile, and making sure she had the right shoes every day. To Mrs. Chark, the best advisor she could ask for. To Dr. Lehman for turning their all-girls Spanish class into one of the funniest parts of her day. And to Dr. Rivers and Miss Carlin for always being so caring and kind no matter what. Clover also wants to thank her friends for always being there and making the best memories, especially their lunch table talks and all the laughs. She's incredibly thankful to her parents for always believing in her, for all the pep talks, and for supporting her through everything. To her dad, Coach AJ, for being her biggest motivator, her rock, and always pushing her to be her best. And to her mom, her role model, and sometimes twin, for always being there through it all, and who she hopes to be one day. To her sister, her other twin, thank you for always giving her the best advice and encouragement. Clover feels so lucky to have you as her sister, and now her SEC rival. And to all her aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, and friends. She loves you so much and is deeply grateful for all your constant support. I love you all.
Kyle Antonio Dixon. Kyle will be attending the University of Tampa.
Kyle would like to thank his family for always supporting him, and would like to also thank all his teachers for their help throughout his years at Pine. Kyle also wants to thank all of his friends for making school feel like a second home. He would also love to give a special shout out to B. Perry Study Hall for being one of his favorite high school mentors. Most importantly, Kyle would like to thank his mom for being his best friend. You showed him what hard work and unconditional love truly looks like, and without your sacrifices, none of this would be possible. Kyle wants to thank you for always being in his corner, and likewise, he will always be in yours. He loves you very much. Finally, thank you for Pine for treating me so great. Go Gold and go Knights.
Amber Lynn Dunlap. Amber will be attending Kennesaw State University.
Every step of the way. Her mother has always been her confident and go-to person, whether for finding things around the house or shopping together at Goodwill. Amber hopes to one day become someone just like her, kind, confident, and brave enough to chase after her goals. She also thanks her father, her biggest fan, for his constant support, especially on her athletic journey. She's grateful for the sacrifices he's made and his continued encouragement and care for her future. Amber would lastly like to thank her brother, Trey, for being her best friend. Even in those moments where she feels he's being a bother or acting silly, she cherishes their bond more than anything and all the memories they've shared. She knows now how lucky she is to have such a reliable, built-in best friend like him. She loves her family deeply and knows she wouldn't be who she is today without him. Amber also extends her appreciation to her extended family, friends, teammates, and teachers from Georgia, Tennessee, and Martin County for helping her grow into the person she is today.
Caroline Moreland Fincher. Caroline will be attending the University of South Carolina.
Caroline would like to sincerely thank her father and stepmother, Jake and Christy, for their constant love and support. She's so grateful to have you both here today. She also thanks her stepfather, Stephen, for always being there and for the overused dad jokes that never quite hit home. To her sister, Hattie, thank you for your guidance and all the lessons you've shared. And to her little brother, Spencer, thank you for being so amazing. She can't wait to come back in 8 years and watch you walk across the stage. Caroline is deeply thankful to her grandparents, Mimi, Gigi, and Mama Babe, for your presence and encouragement every step of the way. To her teachers, especially Dr. Vickers, Mr. Hildebrand, and Mr. Haley, thank you for your mentorship and kindness. To her friends, and especially her best friend Abby, thank you for being by her side. But Caroline's greatest inspiration comes from her best friend and the extraordinary woman who she gets to call her mom. Her mom never let her believe there was anything she couldn't do or become. Caroline is forever grateful for the love, strength, and unwavering support her mom gives her.
Andrew Bryson Galdiz. Andrew will be attending Mercy University.
Andrew would like to thank his parents for always supporting him. He also appreciates all of his teachers, coaches, and family members for all of the guidance they have given him. He is forever grateful for everybody who has helped him get to where he is now.
Connor McCord Hampton. Connor will be attending Florida State University.
Ones he's grown up with and made countless memories alongside. They've been a huge part of his journey and is grateful for every laugh, late night hangout, karaoke, and unforgettable moment they've shared. He would also like to thank his dad for always pushing him to reach and exceed his limits, and for helping him believe he can succeed in whatever he puts his mind to. His dad's support has played a major role in shaping who Connor is today. Connor also thanks his sister, Gracie, for teaching him how to have fun. She's been a positive role model in his life, and he's especially excited to be going to the same school as her again next year. Connor would then like to thank his mom. She means the world to him, and he knows he wouldn't be standing here today without her. He'd probably have a lot more absences and attentions if it wasn't for her. Lastly, Connor would like to thank all of his fine teachers and coaches, and also his family for coming out to support him today. He appreciates each one of them more than they know. And as ever, go Knowles.
Mary Mae Shannon Winter Hayes. attending Florida State University.
We would like to thank her parents for their constant love, support, and encouragement. From long nights of studying to big life decisions, they've been by her side every step of the way. She wouldn't be the person she is today without their guidance, sacrifices, and belief in her. Thank you for always being her greatest cheerleaders. She also wants to thank her friends for being a steady source of support in everything she does. And lastly, a special thanks to her brother for doing his best to accept the fact that his little sister is becoming a Knoll, even as a proud Florida Gator. Go Knowles!
Jace William Jodzio. Jace will be attending Southern Methodist University.
Jace wants to thank his mom, Alex, and his stepdad, Carl, for their constant love and support, and for always knowing how to make him smile. He's also really grateful to his dad, Tom, for always pushing and motivating him to do his best and giving him confidence to go for it. He wants to thank his sister, Olivia, for always being there and listening when he needed you. And he's especially thankful to his grandmother and grandfather for teaching him some life lessons, like how important it is to be grateful, kind, and happy. Jace is also very thankful for the rest of his family and friends. Their love, support, and all the memories they've given him make him feel like an even better person than he really is. He truly couldn't be more grateful to have you all in his life.
Juliana Patricia Jorans. Juliana will be attending Boston College.
Juliana would like to thank her parents for always believing in her and setting the foundation for everything she's achieved. Their hard work, constant support, and sacrifices are something she will always look up to. She also wants to thank her older brother for always being there when she needs guidance, a laugh, or anything else. Juliana appreciates her aunts, uncles, and cousins for bringing so much joy into her life. The memories they've shared together are some of her favorite moments to look back on. She thanks her coaches for the time and effort they've invested, and her teachers for their dedication, which has helped her grow in many ways. Juliana is grateful for all of her friends throughout high school who added to some of the best times and experiences she'll always remember. She recognizes the encouragement and support and advice from everyone around her have shaped who she is today, and she looks forward to what will come in the future.
Jude Coburn Colcana. Jude will be attending University of Central Florida.
First, Jude would like to thank his mom and dad for always being there for him. They supported him through everything he's done, and he thanks you so much for that. He also wants to thank his sister Linda for always being his best friend and his friends for the great times they've had in the last few years at home together. And Mike, Jen, Gina, and Dave for always supporting him through the fun. Lastly, his teachers, specifically Doc Lehman, Miss Fanning, Mrs. Hampton, Doc Vick, and Senior Raul. He thanks you for supporting him and always being an ear to listen to. Peace out, Mike.
Liliana Victoria Crastel. Lily will be attending Boston University.
Firstly, Lily would like to thank her mom and dad for always supporting her and always pushing her to do her best. She wants to thank her grandparents and aunt and uncle for always being there to make her laugh, and her dog Louie, who recently passed but offered 13 years of love and companionship. Lily would also like to thank all the amazing teachers that have helped her get to where she is. She wants to thank Doc Pete for helping her through times of self-doubt, fueling her love of science, and always listening to her after-school ramblings over a cup of tea. She would like to thank Mrs. Castle for 8 years of unforgettable memories, laughter, and inside jokes, for always being there to listen and helping her fall in love with music. She knows that she would not be who she is today without her. Finally, she wants to thank her sister, Bella, for being her built-in best friend since birth, for always listening to her and telling her to lock in when distracted, Lily is forever grateful for everybody who has helped her become the person she is today.
Madeline Elizabeth McElroy. Madeline will be attending Elon University.
For consistently supporting her and allowing her to pursue her goals and passions, and for being there through tests and trials. Madeline would like to thank her friends for always being there for her, for caring, for hanging out, for the break time potlucks. Madeline would like to thank all of her teachers that have helped them grow so much in academics, art, and life. She would like to thank Miss Family for encouraging her constant growth in art, Mrs. Castle for an incredible experience in band, Dr. Lehman for a wonderful, memorable English class, and Mr. Tolliver for reinforcing their love for ancient history. Alongside this, Madeline would like to thank all the rest of the faculty and staff who have made these 14 years amazing. Madeline would like to thank all of the professors, coaches, and peers at the Future School of Jiu-Jitsu for allowing her to grow as a fighter and a person. Finally, Madeline would like to thank their beloved cat, Lord Byron, for being the absolute best in every way. Madeline would like to say thank you all for this chapter of my life.
Kira Lynn Noel Johnson. Kira will be attending the University of Miami.
Kira is eternally grateful for her parents for their unwavering love, support, and the strength they've given her through every step of her journey. She would also like to thank her grandparents for their constant presence and encouragement that has helped guide her. She also thanks her aunts and uncles for filling their life with joy, laughter, and a sense of adventure that she will always carry with her. Above all, Kira is truly appreciative of her friends, teachers, and loved ones whose kindness, guidance, and belief in her has helped shape the person she is today. And finally, she would like to thank Blitzen, Tack, and Goose. Go Canes!
Tyra Annalisa Samira Hoffman. Tyra will be attending Colorado School of Mines.
Tyra would like to thank her mother for always supporting her in her choices, and her siblings for showing her that life is too short to take so seriously. She would also like to thank her aunt for the amazing fashion advice, her father for his life advice, and her grandparents, who mean the world to her. Tyra deeply appreciates all of her teachers, friends, and family members, especially you, Dr. P, for all of the guidance and lessons learned. Without you all, she wouldn't be where she is now, so she is truly forever grateful.
Soham Nick Patel. Soham will be attending the University of Tampa.
Soham would first like to thank his parents for always giving him their love and always finding a way to give him everything he needed and more. Secondly, he'd like to thank his friends for always pushing him in every aspect in life, especially the Glizzy Gladiators for making these years truly unforgettable and being his best friends. He would like to thank his coaches for their tough love and life lessons. Next, he'd like to thank all of his peers for the moments they never knew mattered. Finally, he'd like to thank his brother, Shiv, for never being able to drive.
Dylan Plevnik. Dylan will be attending Lynn University.
Dylan is deeply grateful for all the endearing support throughout the years and passion from his family. He truly couldn't have it any other way, nor could he ever imagine it so. Thank you always.
Jacob Linder Ross. Jacob will be attending the University of Wisconsin.
Jacob would like to thank his mom, dad, and sister for their support throughout the years. He would also like to thank his brother, Simon, for the best friendly competition and motivation he could ask for. Go Badgers!
Cashin Tracy Scala. Cash will be attending University of Notre Dame.
Cash would like to thank his advisor, Dr. Vickers. She has played an integral role in his high school career, and he is forever thankful for all that she has done for him, and Ella for her tremendous kindness and patience. She never ceases to amaze him. Cash would also like to thank his family. He would like to thank his grandpa for always rooting for him in all of his activities, his dad for holding him to a high standard, his mom for always being an empathetic person and always offering a shoulder to lean on, his brother for being an amazing role model and his inspiration to work harder. Finally, his sister for being one of the smartest people he knows and also one of the nicest people he knows. Cash wishes for the world to see her the way he sees her.
Sydney Rochelle Schreier. Sydney will be attending High Point University.
Sydney would like to thank her parents from the bottom of her heart for always standing by her side, for lifting her when things got hard, and for never once letting her forget that she was loved, capable, and meant for great things. Her support, sacrifices, and constant love have meant more to her than words can truly ever say, and she will forever be thankful for everything they've done to help her succeed. To her sisters, thank you for being her safe space and biggest cheerleaders. She also thanks her Nana, whose strength was her light in dark moments. Your words gave her hope, your faith gave her strength, and your love carried her through. Sydney is grateful for her grandparents, aunts, uncles, and all her family who believe in her and help her stay strong. Your love has been her foundation. To her teachers and coaches, thank you for guiding her and never giving up. And to her friends for always making her life and making these past few years the best time of her life. Your support helped shape who she is today. She is forever thankful to everyone who's been part of her journey. Your love and belief have helped her grow, and she carries that with her always.
Elena Marie Schroeder. Elena will be attending Auburn University.
Elena would like to start off by thanking the Pine School for the past 15 years full of memories. She would like to thank Mr. Mortel for always being there for her no matter what, Mrs. Castle for being her second mom and first person to go to when in need of a good laugh, and Miss Charlton for always being a built-in role model and math teacher. Elena would also like to thank Mr. Boyer for being the coolest Gov teacher ever. Elena wants to thank her honorary little sister Elizabeth for being the best built-in twin who never fails to support her in everything she does, and her best friend, Gabby, who she wants to thank for doing life with her. Gabby, I most definitely could not have made it this far without you, and I love you so much. We did it. Elena would like to thank her little brother, Carson, for the morning car rides to school singing country music at full blast, and for being her built-in best friend. Carson, you are the best little brother I could ever ask for. Lastly, Elena would like to sincerely express her deepest gratitude to her parents for making this chapter the best of her life. Dad, hey man, you're the coolest guy ever. You are truly an inspiration to me, and I will forever aspire to be as hardworking as you are. Mom, thank you for being my rock, my biggest inspiration, role model, and my twin. Thank you for all the Jonas Brothers concerts, Andy Grammer concerts, and all the memories we've made together. I love you both, and this journey would not have been possible without you. Thank you all again for making this chapter of my life the best. I love you all so much.
Gabriella Liliana Schwartz. Gabby will be attending Skidmore College.
Gabby would like to express a heartfelt thank you to her family, teachers, and fellow students who have supported and encouraged her throughout this journey. Graduation would not have been possible without the unwavering love of her mom and dad, the guidance of her dedication of her teachers, and Dr. Lehman for always being there for her, and the camaraderie and kindness from peers who have helped her become who she is today. Every bit of help, every kind word, and every moment of support played a part in reaching this great goal.
Sophia Madeline Sedelnik. Sophia will be attending Southern Methodist University.
Sophia would like to thank her parents for giving her the opportunities she has had in her education that have allowed her to succeed and for always pushing her to grow and become a better version of herself daily. She would also like to thank them for the life experiences they've given her through travel. Some of her favorite family memories are on family trips, and she will forever be grateful that she has experienced so many places in the world early in her life. Sophia would like to specifically thank her mom for always reminding her that she can push through hard times and for always lending an ear. She also wants to thank her dad for showing her where hard work will get you in life and for setting the example to always give without expecting to receive. She is very grateful for the memories she has made with her friends at Pine and appreciate her teachers and coaches' guidance throughout the past years. She will be forever grateful for everyone who has helped her become who she is today and for supporting her as she enters a new chapter.
Emily Love Shirk. Emily will be attending Florida International University.
To first thank her parents for supporting her through every chapter of her life and believing in her in every moment, big and small. She would also like to thank Anna for being her built-in best friend, and Garrett for being her #1 cheerleader every day, no matter the occasion. She would also like to thank her grandparents, aunts, and uncles for always loving and supporting her, and her cousins for making life fun and enjoyable through the years. She would like to thank Mrs. Lettengarver and Mrs. Ankrum for being her support group and teaching her so many valuable lessons over the course of the year. Finally, she would like to thank Rox for being the best second little sister, Peawood and Coach Ball for being the most amazing coaches, and all her teachers, especially Mr. Boyer for being the greatest teacher she could ask for. She is forever grateful to everyone in her life who has helped her get to where she is now.
Christina Rose Shute. Christina will be attending the University of Florida.
Christina would like to thank her daughters, Leah, Zoe, and Juju for always cheering her up when she's down. She would like to thank her brother for always humbling her and her amazing friends, especially her best friend, Isabella, who has always been there for her no matter what. She doesn't know what she would do without her. She would also like to thank the teacher and faculty of the Pine School who have made this place feel like home. Christina finally would like to thank her mom and dad for being such lovable parents and giving her the opportunity to go for the Pine School for the past 15 years. Additionally, she is grateful they raised her a Gator.
Wade Matthew Singleton. Wade will be attending Samford University.
Wade would first like to thank his parents for guiding and supporting him in everything he has done and for being the best role models he could ask for. He thanks his 4 younger siblings for always being there for him no matter what and for keeping life fun as always. He also extends his gratitude to the rest of his family, his teachers, coaches, and mentors for shaping him into the young man he is today. Go Bulldogs!
Evan Grant Smiley. Evan will be attending the University of Central Florida.
Evan would love to say thank you to his amazing parents and sister, his dog, and all his teachers and coaches for helping him along throughout his entire Pine School career. He couldn't have done it without you.
Karis Patrice Sullivan. Karis will be attending Auburn University.
Expressing her heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has supported her throughout her life and helped her succeed. She is especially thankful for the friends she has made at the Pine School, who have consistently brightened her day and made every day spent at school a little more enjoyable. Karis would also like to acknowledge the fun and laughter shared with her closest friends around the lunch table, which she will always treasure. She is deeply grateful to her brothers, whose constant teasing she knows is driven by love, and she will miss it dearly. Karis extends her appreciation to her grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins for their unwavering love and support. Karis is thankful for all of her coaches and teachers who have dedicated themselves to setting her up for success. Finally, she would like to offer her deepest thanks to her parents, especially her mom, who made it possible for her to spend these last 4 years at the Pine School. Karis is beyond grateful for her mom and dad's love, support, and for always believing in her and encouraging her to be her best.
Alice Lucia Villalba. Alice will be attending Florida State University.
First, I'd like to say thank you to all of her classmates for the amazing memories and laughs they've shared throughout the years, especially those who made her return to Pine feel as if she never left. She would like to thank Miss Bracken for the wide range of conversations they would have at any hour. Alice would like to thank all of her teachers for pushing her to always do her best, but she would like to thank 2 teachers in particular who have shaped her view on education. Thank you, Dr. Vickers and Dr. Lindman, for giving Alice more grace than she probably deserves and showing her that school is set up to help you grow, not fail. Alice wants to thank Mrs. Castle. To know she will always be grateful she chose band instead of running the mile for so many reasons that can't fit into this blurb. She would also like to thank her 2 cats, her stepdad and all her siblings for supporting her antics at home. And although they are not here and probably won't understand this, Alice would like to thank the Pichero family for helping deepen her sense of self and show her that love just is no matter the distance or the language. Most importantly, Alice is endlessly grateful to her parents for teaching her to always dream big and never settle, while reminding her to stay grounded in where she comes from. She knows the opportunities they've worked so hard to give her are the reason she's come so far, and her love for them is deeper and stronger than they will ever know.
Genevieve Story Waters. Genevieve will be attending Dartmouth College.
Genevieve would like to thank her family for always standing beside her. Her mom for being her twin and biggest cheerleader at every sporting event or academic assembly. Her dad for being her biggest motivator with early morning gym sessions and daily words of advice. And her grandparents for pancake breakfast before school. She would also like to thank her friends for making time for like home, and Lucas, who has been the best friend she could ever ask for. And finally, she would like to thank her teachers for opening her eyes to new perspectives and subjects, and proving that hard work does pay off. She would specifically like to thank Ms. Bratton for helping her get into her dream school, Dr. Fee for standing by her side during capstone planning sessions or crazy summer camp days, and Dr. Vickers for welcoming her to Pine with open arms and guiding her each step of the way. I love you all. Go Big Green.
Richie Johann Edvard Baxen.
parents for always reminding him that he is loved, and for the support that they have shown him his whole life. Next, he would like to thank his older sister Nellie for being a friend he could always look up to for guidance and support, and he would like to thank his younger brother Vincent for being the greatest built-in friend he could ever ask for. Richie will never forget those sleepless nights playing video games with him. Richie would also like to thank his grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins for their support, even from long distances. Lastly, he would like to thank his friends. He will never forget anything they've done for him and the fun they've had over the years.
John William Widener. John will be attending Southern Methodist University.
John would like to thank his mom for her constant dedication to his well-being and success ever since the day he was born. From waking him up at 6 a.m. for robotics competitions to cooking the most delicious meals and always being his biggest cheerleader. He'd like to thank his dad, with his charisma and personality, the likes of which he's never seen matched, and that drives and inspires him to become a little something of his father, and to be the best son he can be. John would like to thank his 3 brothers for easing his stress and keeping him grounded along this new stretch of his journey. Notably, he would like to thank his grandma for her undying support through every challenge and hurdle. Lastly, it's hard to underscore the impact John's friends and teachers have had on shaping his personality and success throughout his high school years, and he is forever grateful for each and every one of them and every special thing that makes each of them great in all of our eyes.
Maverick Michael Wysocki. Maverick will be attending Emory University.
First, I'd like to thank both his parents for always being there and being the best guide in his life. Also for being the people he looks up to the most in his life. Maverick admires all of his coaches throughout his life that shaped him not only on the court but as a person. He would also like to thank all his family members, especially his brother and grandparents, for their tremendous amount of support and memories. He thanks everyone for helping him succeed in his journey and more to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our graduates, the class of 2025. From right to left, signifying your official graduation. Congratulations, graduates, and welcome to the Pine Schools Alumni Association. Your fellow alumni and all of us here hope that you become active in this community and always support the school in spirit and with affection. Thank you, and please be seated. The traditional rose ceremony is next. Graduates, we welcome you to come forward and honor your families. Graduates, now officially our newest alumni, we have arrived at the culmination of our time together at the Pine School. This is the part of the ceremony where emotions can sometimes get the best of us all, even me. It's important to recognize the many individuals who have contributed to bringing us to this significant moment. Your families have been a constant source of love and support, and my colleagues at the Pine School have been dedicated to educating you and fostering an exceptional environment, one to honor your voices and our close-knit community. However, you, graduates, have played the biggest role of all in earning your Pine School diploma, the highest honor we bestow. As you recess from this auditorium and proceed to the breezeway, to toss your hats into the air, many of us will ponder how this school will continue to shape your lives. As you know from my baccalaureate musings last night, my hope is that you remain curious, never lose your thirst for knowledge, and serve as supportive role models for lifelong learning and friendship to others. Now, as we turn to the festivities that lie ahead, I can't help but wonder what lasting image or memories of the Pine School will resonate with you. The sunset behind Bottom Hill Field, flames reflected in the campus windows from our annual bonfire, the first crush, first love, the rush of adrenaline building to a close victory, teammates with their arms around you, lifting you up, tremendous applause following a stellar performance on this very stage, burning hands after you pulled your heart out at field day tug of war, a high five or hug from a younger student who looks up to you, the smile from a teacher when your hard work has landed true and solidified your learning. Sorry. Whatever your memories that you have, hold them dear, class of 2025, and let them remain with you and gain in significance through each passing year after you graduate. Keep the Pine School close in your hearts, for you will remain in ours. I now offer the following benediction, adapted from Tiffany L. Steinberg when she was Dean of Hendricks Chapel at Syracuse University. Standing on the edge of possibility, we pause and drink in a deep sense of accomplishment, pride and hope of this very moment. Suspended in time between a student's past and a graduate's future, we gather with abundant joy and overwhelming gratitude. This commencement embodies our vision of education as an engaged and dynamic partnership between the Pine School and our families, students and parents alike. Today, we celebrate our collective commitment to respect, responsibility, honesty, and equality, to creating a better and more just world. May we bask in the joy of this day, and may the fierce dedication and patient perseverance that has brought us to this moment carry us forth to create a world marked by kindness and compassion beyond measure. We will now have a formal recessional. Families and guests, I ask that you please remain where you are until our recessional concludes. The graduates need to make their way directly to the quad for a photo, after which everyone will convene in the breezeway. Please stay on the concrete behind our professional photographer while the students are arranged for the photo, tossing their caps. Mr. Carlson will close the recessional and signal to the audience that they are dismissed from the auditorium. Thank you so much, everyone.